How's it going, everybody? I'm the BTC Reaper, and my goal in this channel is to teach you how to reap the rewards of trading with the price that's going up or down. NFL Rivals NFT mobile game launches plans to move to Polkadot. NFL Rivals, an officially licensed mobile game with NFTs, is now live with early access on both Apple iOS App Store and Google Play's Android Play Store. If you're going to play on Apple, please refer to last night's video though, because there's major implications if you're going to do that. NFL Rivals is a fantasy football game in which players act as a team general manager, make plays, and try to win games against opposing teams. While NFT Rivals offers a free-to-play mobile mode, users will also be able to buy, sell, and trade individual game characters. Only in the Apple Store if you're on Apple. Last week, LinkedIn told Decrypt that NFL Rivals brought in 150,000 players during its beta, and they think that the game will do north of 10 million players this year. While those are sky-high predictions, it's also part of the reason Mythical has also decided to move from Ethereum to a compatible network on Polkadot. Mythical Games will have its own parachain on Polkadot, which it calls the Mythos Superchain. He believes that it will be able to handle the mainstream-sized gaming audiences. So, this is a good move for anyone interested in playing, because a Ethereum gas fee is severely higher than a Polkadot gas fee. So you're going to save a lot of money over the long run just in gas fees, even in one transaction. You might not pay as much in all your Polkadot transaction gas fees as you would one Ethereum gas fee at a height of a bull run. So this is a good move for NFL. Binance US won't bail out Voyager, cites hostile US regulations. Binance US has terminated its agreement to acquire Voyager as federal regulators were keen to block the deal in court. As such, Binance US stated that it decided to exercise its right to terminate the asset purchase agreement. While their hope throughout the process was to help Voyager's customers access their crypto in kind, the hostile and uncertain regulatory climate in the United States has introduced an unpredictable operating environment impacting the entire American business community, the exchange said. A committee representing Voyager creditors in bankruptcy proceedings tweeted that it was incredibly disappointed with this decision and is investigating further potential claims against Binance US. A federal judge temporarily halted the proposed deal to sell Voyager's digital assets to Binance US in March after a request by the United States government for an emergency stay. That's when I kind of warned you guys that this may fall through. Despite federal and state regulators' objection, Judge Michael Wiles approved the proposed restructuring plan earlier this month. The winning bidder will make a $10 million in good faith deposit and will reimburse Voyager for certain expenses up to a maximum of $15 million. Binance US had until April 18, 2023 to finalize the acquisition, otherwise Voyager moves these additional fees to customers after a 1-month extension. The SEC warned that distributing Voyager's VGX token as part of the Binance US restructuring plan may constitute the sale of unregistered securities. The agency also said the bidder could be an unregistered national security exchange. This is another example of why I warned that this deal could fall through, and now it has. FTX finalizes $50 million sale of LedgerX crypto derivatives exchange. FTX bankruptcy lawyers agreed on Tuesday to sell LedgerX, the FTX-owned derivatives trading platform, to M7 Holdings. The interest purchase agreement is expected to fetch $50 million. There's not really much more useful information. It just talks about a whole bunch of random other stuff. But basically, this is going to be good for anyone who had investments in FTX because this will allow them to get some bit of their money back once all the bankruptcy proceedings are done. So, onto the chart. We did end up breaking down to this point after getting a fake breakup. Tried to go back into our bigger pattern where we had, don't know why we're on the hour, but tried to go back into this bigger pattern where we did get rejected, came back down, and we ultimately fell down and filled this rejection. We'll look at the dominance on the daily. Sorry about that. So we are curling up. We are getting a reversal arrow that could signal that the previous trend is over. The previous trend was an upwards trend, so that's not good because that means we could have a downwards trend. Stochastics running up, RSI's trying to run up, money flows pretty good. Our VWAP's running up. Our momentum looks like it could start to curl though, so I'd be a little worried about that. So now on to Bitcoin. Get rid of this. We could fall. If we broke to our support, we got this doji candle. Last time we got a little doji candle, we kind of fell pretty hard through our value area low from this range. So if we repeat that and break this range, then possibly bounce off the support, that's where I had that arrow kind of suggesting that percentage breakdown. But that's not guaranteed to happen. We are getting a green down our momentum. VWAP is trying to come up. Money flow is trying to head up. Stochastic's running up. Our RSI is trying to head up. So we do have a little bit of upside here. Our indicators are trying to go up, but this is a very indecisive candle as we did try to go above our high value area, got rejected, and we rejected our trying to hold support on our value area low, which is also right by our point of control for the macro area. So very strong area to hold, so that's why we're struggling to break down below it. But we did end up breaking down below it at some point. We got like an hour or two ago, we just got a flash crash down as Mt. Gox sold a lot of their coins. So on the 4 hour, you can kind of see that flash crash. We did break back down to the support level, so now it is resistance. We did try to break above it and we got rejected. On this macro level, we are setting up some green candles here, so that is good for us. We could try to break above, but it is also a decent area of resistance. Especially if you look on the bigger area, we have a lot of red selling volume here from previous areas. Our stochastic is falling, RSI is falling, but trying to head up. Our momentum's falling with a red dot that confirmed. Our money flow is trying to come upwards, so that is good for us. We did get rejected once. If we get rejected here, then that would be concerning. Our VWAP is heading bearish, so our medium term is going bearishly. So I'd watch the next couple candles and see if we can get like a bullish engulfing candle or not. This is a bit of a long lower shadow candle, so that does show that sellers tried to push us lower and weren't successful. But we are in the golden pocket where there's a lot of manipulation, and we did break above it, so we struggled to get a new high overall. You can kind of see we had our previous highs, so we're getting lower highs, and we're not really getting very much momentum. Volume is starting to fall with the lower highs. That's not too good. We had real weak volume back here as well, and then we wound up falling, so our volume is slightly better right here. It's kind of like in here, but right there we started to fall a bit. So we're just gonna have to kind of watch. Usually when you have more volume, you get more swings like this. If we look at the daily, you can see the daily volume's been pretty similar. Zoom in a little. It's overall going out, or even though we're going up. So our stochastic on the 4 hour is coming down, RSI is pointing up, that momentum's curling down with that red dot. Money flow's trying to go bullish but could reject again, and our VWAP's heading down to kind of recap. 2 hour we did break down, we tried to come back up, we've been all over the place. Stochastic's heading down very strongly, RSI is starting to fall. It was trying to point upwards here, but it's starting to head back down. Our money flow is heading up, but it's kind of starting to curl. So with that curl, it could start to curl back down and come out. So I'd watch out for that. Our VWAP is trying to head up, but if it doesn't get a sharper run up and a strong move up, and other indicators start to fall, we may start to lose our strength here. Over on the 1 hour, our money flow is well into the bullish territory. So it did carry into the 1 hour, the 2 hour. Not the 4 hour. The 4 hour's trying, but it keeps rejecting. So if we see it come out of the 1 hour, we could see that 4 hour reject, 2 hour come out, and we could be set up for some more bearish action. Our RSI is overall making lower highs, coming down with price action. Pretty similar looking actually. Our stochastic's running down. Money flows overall curling and heading out pretty strongly right now. Our VWAP's starting to curl after trying to come up and get near that neutral zone. So that's not very good because you'd want that to break up. You can see our momentum is just peaking into the bearish zone. So if that continues and gets some strong strength behind it, then we may be in for some more downside. Over on graph, we're kind of just floating around this support level, which every time we hit it, we make it weaker, so it's very weak right now. RSI is pointing downwards, stochastic's really tight. Money flow's trying to get bullish, but it's kind of flattening out here under the neutral. Same with that VWAP. Our momentum, if I could get the word out, is trying to curl up, but not really going anywhere. So if we get a green dot, that would be good for us, but we have this indecision candle right now, so we don't really know where we want to go. It's a little more of a red indecision where Bitcoin's a green indecision, but nonetheless, they're both indecisions. Our money flow, stochastic, RSI, we're all starting to head bearish. Money flow is in the bearish zone on the 4 hour. Not quite getting as much of a attempt to cross back up again as like Bitcoin is, so that's concerning. Momentum's curling over after peaking bullishly and getting a red dot that could confirm. RSI is trying to point upwards, so we'll see if that can keep going, but that stochastic is falling pretty strongly. So if that RSI doesn't head up very strong and our stochastic doesn't get a bit of a curl, the RSI is likely to start to bow down. Over on the 2 hour, money flow is very weak into the bullish territory, so we crossed bullishly but not very strongly. Our stochastic is running down, RSI is pointing down, our VWAP's trying to head upwards, so a little conflicting signals here, but overall, everything is heading down. You just go away? Thank you. Our momentum is heading down, had a red dot. Stochastic's heading down, and our VWAP's trying to head up. Over on the 1 hour, we did break our support, then we came back above it. We could kind of round off here. Our money flow is breaking red, didn't really get a strong bullish cross. Stochastic has a bullish cross, but not looking that strong. Our RSI is trying to point up. Our VWAP's kind of just flat, and our momentum's trying to get a bit of a curl, but it's coming down. So overall, we look pretty bearish on the 1 hour. I'd watch the next few candles with this money flow coming out. That could be a bearish sign for us, as the 2 hours not too strong, and the 4 hours in the bearish zone already. Over on Anchor, we did try to hit our value area low. We did reject it, so we got a bit of an indecision candle just like everything else. RSI is heading down, our stochastic's kind of rounding out. Our money flow is trying to head up, but overall is coming out. VWAP's just riding the neutral zone. Our momentum wants to make a curl up, but we're not getting a green dot yet. Over on the 4 hour, we're getting a bit of a red X here, so that could signal that we could get some manipulation. Manipulation doesn't always have to be to the downside, as this is a green hammer candle, and if that appears at the bottom of a pattern, you can head up. Our money flow is in the red zone, so we have a bearish trend, but it's a weak bearish trend right now. This is on the 4 hour, stochastic's rolling over. RSI is trying to point upwards, and our VWAP's falling. Momentum's falling with a red dot. So overall, everything's falling except the RSI is trying to go up. Over on the 2 hour here, stochastic's falling down pretty strongly. RSI is starting to curl away. Our money flow's gone flat, just barely in this bullish territory. Our VWAP is trying to head up, so we do have that going for us, but everything else is starting to kind of taper off. If we look at the 1 hour, kind of just sliding away here. Stochastic could get a bullish cross. We could get a decent move here. We'll have to see if it can keep its strength. RSI's heading up. Our money flow wants to break bearish, so that's concerning. VWAP is kind of curling just under that neutral zone, so excuse me for a second. So our medium term may not gain that momentum if we start to curl away here. our momentum is trying to curl up, so if we do get a green dot, that would be good for us, and maybe our VWAP would start to strain out. We'll kind of have to watch this stochastic if it can keep its momentum and if the money flow breaks or not. Over on XRP, we had a flash crash here to 1/100th of a cent today, and that everyone's futures positions got liquidated. The exchange said, hey, we're going to give you your money back. We're not going to reinstate your positions, but we'll give you your money back. So rightfully, everyone's like, hey, what the fuck? Give me my position. Our RSI is trying to head up. Stochastic's trying to head up. Our money flow is pretty flat here. Our VWAP's trying to head up, just struggling to get over that neutral zone. Our momentum's trying to curl up, so the daily is trying to get some momentum. God damn it. So the 1 hour is trying to gain some momentum here. We'll go back to the daily since we weren't on the right time frame. We are kind of just bouncing around, kind of flagging out here. This could be a bear pendant that could drag us down. That would likely bring us around this support area, around this 38 cent. Our stochastic's rolling over, RSI is starting to head down. Money flow is very weak in the bullish territory. Our VWAP's barely able to, just barely clinging to the bearish territory. Our momentum's trying to get a curl, but just kind of slightly starting to reject, if you can see it kind of curling away here. Over on the 4 hour, momentum's starting to come down with a red dot. Stochastic's coming down, RSI is trying to point upwards though. Money flow's just flip-flopping around, doesn't know where it wants to go. Our VWAP is breaking down pretty strongly. On the 2 hour, our stochastic's running down after getting a bearish divergence. We have a manipulation X that brought us down. Our RSI is kind of starting to curl, so it could start to fall here. Momentum is trying to curl just on this neutral zone, so we could try to get some bullish momentum off this neutral zone here. Our money flow is kind of trying to head upward, so that is good for us. And our VWAP is trying to come upward. Back to the 1 hour, we are trying to get that momentum, so that is carrying over to the 2 hour. Hopefully that can start to carry over to the 4 hour here, as the 4 hours just doesn't know what it wants to do for like the last week or so. Over on Algo, for the daily, we broke out of this descending triangle. Our money flows well into the bearish territory, but trying to come up. Our VWAP's curling up, but rejecting crossing that neutral zone. Our stochastic is rolling over, and our RSI is rolling over as well. Our momentum wants to make a bit of a curl here, so we could try to push forward, but everything else looks like we're falling. Money flows well into the bearish territory on the 4 hour. Our RSI is trying to head upwards with a green dot here. Our stochastic's running down pretty strongly though, so our RSI is losing strength. Our momentum's trying to roll over with a red dot, so overall we're pretty weak. Over on the 2 hour, our stochastic's starting to fall, our RSI is starting to fall, and our momentum's starting to fall. Our money flow is struggling to maintain bullish momentum, and our VWAP is trying to head upwards. Over on the 1 hour, our money flow has broken bearish and is heading downwards. Our VWAP is trying to head up, and our momentum's trying to curl up as well. Our stochastic's trying to run up, and our RSI has gone kind of flat. So the 1 hour is not looking too strongly here. If this momentum, our money flow doesn't regain bullish momentum, then that can start to bring us down on the 2 and 4 hour. Or the 2 hour rather. Thank you for watching tonight's video. I hope you have a wonderful night.